What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I'm back with another iteration of the Squad Tips series where I take your squads and I give you tips. So before we get started, if you are new to the channel, subscribe. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who watch my videos that don't subscribe. Man, I have like 2,800 subscribers. Take pity on me. It's not like I have 400k. Alright, help your boy out. So, first squad we're going to be doing, shout out to my man, did I say Mookie Blaylock? Yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, I doubt that's your real name. It's all I will say about that. So, you're on current gen. You use Frank Vogel, 250k total, open to spend some, cool. Playstyle is a mix of rim running, driving, and dishing for threes, cool. Man after my own heart, that's how I play. Most green with card would be Dwyane Wade, Jameson, and Dissinger. Looks like you're finally going to add in Wes Unseld relatively soon. Okay, cool. Number one, I got to ask, like, how do you have such impeccable TTO vault luck? Like, you have Don Old, Dissinger, and Kermit Washington. How? Do you have Wayne Embry, too? Like, I don't even understand. I have Dissinger, and I've been being punished for receiving Dissinger ever since I got him. I've played literally like hundreds of games of TTO and have not gotten a single reward card. If you get Jerry Sloan, I'm going to be upset. I mean, I'm going to be happy for you, but I'm going to be upset for myself. So number one right off the bat, I would say Malik Sealy's good, but I think his time has kind of passed as far as being like an elite level card, but he's still very usable. And I would say the same about Terry, but Terry's still more than usable. I think he's more usable than Malik personally. So right off the bat, I would probably get rid of Malik Sealy. That would be really the only upgrade because you have like Apex level like free cards. So I wouldn't replace Kermit Washington, like I wouldn't replace Clyde, Don Ole. If you green that much with Dwyane Wade, I don't think replacing him is really the best idea at this point. Now, say you wanted to replace Dwyane Wade, if you were looking to replace him, which he's a free card, so I don't think it's necessary. If you wanted an upgraded version basically of Dwyane Wade, like Juan Carlos Navarro is it. But I think if you're that green with Wade on its own, I don't think it's worth spending 100k on Juan Carlos Navarro. Now, if he goes below 100k, it might be an upgrade that you'd be willing to make. He's not as good defensively as Dwyane Wade, but in my opinion, like Dwyane Wade has better defensive animations, but Juan Carlos Navarro is an overall better card. Now, that being said, I think the one upgrade that I would make would be to get rid of Malik Sealy. Probably move Terry down to the bench. Terry Dissinger is still incredibly good. But the card I would put right here, just because you have a very good amount of ball handling, like Kermit can handle the ball a little bit, Clyde and Don Ole can hold it down. You kind of just need a 3-and-D guy right here, realistically, and Andrew Wiggins really does that. Like, I think he's better than Malik Sealy at what Malik Sealy does. He's got an easier to time jump shot, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but you didn't cite Malik as being one of the cards that you really green a lot with, so that's why I would keep Antoine. And I would go grab Wiggins. He's an excellent 3-and-D guy. He can boom super, super hard, too, which is definitely important, especially if you're playing the play style that you play. And then when you end up getting Wes Unseld, you can move Kermit down to the bench and move Wes right here, and then you have a really good team because Wes Unseld is an incredibly good ball handler as well. So it opens a little bit more up for your team. I just stuttered right there. Anyways, so I think that's really the only thing I would say to do. Until we get more cards out, I don't think you should make any radical moves, especially with having such a good free card, like team, period. Like I said, Juan Carlos Navarro, if you really want to shake up Dwyane Wade, if you're finding that Dwyane Wade's getting burned a lot by opposing players, then maybe that's an upgrade you could make where you could still keep that same jump shot timing down, just with an overall better card. But I think right now, probably just stay with what you got. But shout out to you for submitting your team. I just think Wiggins and obviously going to get Wes Unseld are really the only two massive upgrades you can make without killing your MT for no reason whatsoever. So, shout out to you, whatever your real name is. Next up, we got my man J-Sid. So, you're running Harden at point. Okay, I don't know if it's hero or regular, so I'm just going to say it's regular for now. Doesn't really matter, but, you know. Wiggins, who you're going to hear his name a lot because he's an excellent budget card, so just give you that warning now. I'm not going to recommend him for every team, but you are going to see that a lot. Karolinko, radioactive Karolinko, okay. Dirk at the 4. I like it. And then Bob Lanier, who you will also hear Bob Lanier a pretty decent amount because I'm a big fan of Bob Lanier. Darren Fox at point guard. Darren Fox is like one of the most slept on cards in this game, in my opinion anyway. And he's radically important for domination. Jameson as well. Jameson's still usable, by the way. Like, I know it's been a little while, but he's still very, very usable. Ben Wallace and... Wait. It says R. Rob. I don't really know who that is, so I'm guessing it's David Robinson. Unless it's... No, it's not Robert Parrish, right? There's no way. Or is it Robert Williams? Huh. I'm not sure who that could be. Whatever. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's David Robinson based on the cards that you have. So, you run Mike D'Antoni. So do I. Hawks freelance for the most part with Hawks playlist. Okay, with Hawks playbook. Cool. You just slash and chuck up bricks. I feel that. It's, yeah. Alright, you have 500k MT to work with. You don't cite Andre Karolinko as being one of the cards that you green the most with. That being said, I mean, if you have him, cool. He does miss a lot of shots on current gen, especially like a lot of wide open shots. Now, if you're on next gen, he's great. He's still good on current gen. I still use him in my lineup, but I am aware that he is going to miss a lot of wide open shots. Like, I get that. It's just his jump shot base, combined with that Hall of Fame steady shooter, is going to cause a lot of misses. I do respect the starting Wiggins over Kawhi Leonard move. I definitely respect that move, but apparently you green a lot with Wiggins, so that makes a lot of sense. I think Ben Wallace may be the one card that I would replace in this lineup. The rest of this lineup is flawless. It's totally fine. Ben Wallace would be the one guy I think I may remove from this situation. Now, who would replace him? You have 500k, so it's not like you're hurting on MT or anything, but I'm trying to think of who could replace him that would be a really good move. I have my Xbox on over here, obviously. I mean, there's a few different options. You could, in theory, go for another small forward and move Karolinko down to power on the bench. Like, that's an option. And it's not particularly a bad option either, honestly. All things considered, it's really not. Yeah, I mean, I don't really suggest running, like, a Lamar Odom or something. Like, Lamar Odom's good for some people, but he's not good for a lot of people, so I don't really think that might be the move to make here. That being said... It's tough, man. It's tough to really say. Detlef Schrempf is relatively cheap, and he's pretty okay. It depends how you feel about Ben Wallace. Like, you didn't specify how you feel about Ben Wallace right now. I don't know if he's, like, your option, or if that's just a player you really, really like. But I would say that you could upgrade Ben Wallace with a token market pickup in Moses Malone. He plays well at the power forward. Or you could upgrade Ben Wallace for relatively cheap by going with, like, Retro Draymond. Both of those options, I think, are a little bit better than Ben Wallace. They both play, like, comparable level defense, but bring you significantly more on the offensive end. Yeah, I would go with that. If you throw, like, Draymond next to David Robinson, like, David Robinson will kind of cover up his lack of height as well. Kind of similar to what you're doing up here. Like, Bob Lanier's a little bit smaller, so you have giant-ass Dirk over here. Also, Dirk's not great defensively, so you have, like, Bob Lanier to cover him defensively, and you could do the same thing with, like, David Robinson and whoever you put in there. Like, Moses Malone is a much better defender, but Draymond's going to be more of a point forward. He's also going to be a better shooter out of the gate. So I would probably go with Draymond right here, and that way you can make a nice little adjustment to your team that keeps the same play style, but at the same time doesn't break your MT bank. I guess I just don't think it's worth going after somebody like, I don't know, like, who are the options out here that you could go after? Yeah, like Hito or Karl Anthony Towns. Like, I don't like those options for your squad. I don't really like a Larry Bird. I think costs too much, and you're going to run into the same problems you have with Karolinko with him. Paul Pierce can't shoot from the corners and can't play the two guards, so that's, like, a huge issue. Iguodala's fine, but I don't think he's even really better than Wiggins, so I don't know if that really helps your team, like, at all. And then even looking at, like, Radioactive or, like, the mystery guys, I don't really think Dominique helps your team very much. I mean, maybe it does, but I don't think it does. Radioactive guys, yeah, like, obviously, yes, Giannis would be great, but, I mean, he's 500k. he's more than you have, and I wouldn't even pay that, and I'm sitting on like 1.2 million. So, yeah, I think you're fine the way you are. Maybe just Draymond would help your team a little bit more, or like I said, if you don't want to go with Draymond because you don't like him for whatever reason, grabbing Moses Malone from the token market if you have the requisite tokens, or grinding for someone like Wes Unseld would be the way I would go in this scenario. Wes Unseld actually makes a whole lot of sense. I know that's like a lot of grinding to get through, so I recognize that that's kind of a problem, but I cannot stress how good Wes Unseld is. Like, he's way, 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 way better Draymond Green, in my opinion. They're the same height. Wes Unseld's a better ball handler. And they're about the same, I guess. I think Draymond's actually slightly better. It just feels better with Wes Unseld. He's got that afro. He's got a better jump shot, in my opinion. He dunks significantly harder. These are probably the three options. Draymond, Wes, Moses Malone. Depending on which one you prefer doing. You want to spend 15 or so K on Draymond? Go Draymond. Do you have 750 tokens to spare? Go Moses Malone. Do you want to grind for Wes Unseld? Wes Unseld is without question the best option for your team. It will put your team into like a new category of being good, but it does take like a pretty requisite grind, though I personally think it's worth it. So shout out to you. Thanks for submitting. I hope that helped out. I think everybody else on your team is perfect for right now until we get some new content that really blows it out of the water, and I don't think downgrading to any budget guys really makes a whole lot of sense for your team. All right. So now I got one from the franchise, aka Michael 804757. Okay. You are running regular Magic. Cool. Magic's good. I hate his trot up animation though. I'm sure you're aware of that. The only way to really break that is to like do it behind the back. It's the only way he'll like put some oomph in his step. Anthony Davis. Not a lot of people running AD anymore. And then you're running retro Giannis. All right, cool. Then you're running Ben Simmons off the bench. Lonzo. Okay, I already got some moves to make here. Clyde Drexler. Okay. Jameson. Okay. And Pau. And Pau Gasol. Okay. Okay. You also have Donovan Mitchell too. Alright. Right off the bat, I don't know. If you're trying to complete domination, I wouldn't sell Ben Simmons because he's very helpful for domination. If you have no interest in trying to complete domination or spotlight sims or any of that stuff, I would sell Ben Simmons. Like, his price is back up close to 100K. That's 100K that you could net yourself. You have 416 already, but I still think it's a good move. Because then you can just run Lonzo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, and that's like a total fine. You already have Wiggins. Wiggins is probably one of those guys that I would recommend. Depending on how close you are to either like the token market or domination, that kind of makes a lot of a difference too. Because if you have 750 tokens, like Bob Lanier is excellent. Like, everything you like about Giannis, you're going to like about Bob Lanier. It's just Giannis has a better player build. So in certain situations, he may actually be better. Though you're making up for that by having Anthony Davis right there. I would say sell Anthony Davis. He's going for about 200K, but you seem to like rim running and you like to use Anthony Davis as like a primary ball handler, it would seem, which I totally understand. The one concern I have on the starting lineup is having two non-shooters. Like, that's the issue that I have right here. And though that might work for you and that's cool, like if I was using your lineup, that's why I try not to do squad tips based on my personal play style. Because like I couldn't run Magic Johnson and this Giannis in the same lineup because it would cause too many issues because I shoot way too many threes. And having these two guys, like Magic can shoot threes, I'm just not confident at hitting like a consistent basis with this Magic Johnson card. Like I'm just not. Same goes down here. Like if you were running Ben Simmons at point guard, and Pau Gasol misses so many whites on current gen. It's absolutely infuriating. I would probably switch it up. But like I said, Bob Lanier, if you're not in a position to grind for Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld's like a universal card that I'll recommend for anybody because he fits any play style. He plays defense, he rim runs, he shoots threes, he does everything. So it's somebody that I quite often recommend. Like Jack Marin's still good. Jack Marin's still solid. Andrew Wiggins is my guy. This is like legitimately one of my favorite cards in the game. Obviously, like Draymond Green would work well too, but it just depends how you feel about Draymond's base. I don't know how much better he is. Well, he's definitely better than Antoine Jameson at this stage. Like, he is. He brings a little bit more ball handling. He can shoot from a little bit deeper. He plays better defense. Like, he's a better card than Antoine Jameson. Antoine Jameson just has a better jump shot. Like, that's the only thing Antoine has over Draymond. He has that Dante Exum base, which is really good. Clyde's fine. Like, Clyde's fine, and if you run Donovan Mitchell at shooting guard, it's not terrible. Like, it's not bad at all. You can get away with it just fine. Or you can even run Lonzo at shooting guard. He's got the size to do so. But I think Ben Simmons, unless you're trying to complete that domination, selling him and getting rid of him ASAP would be the thing that I would do. And then you can obviously go like this, because Donovan Mitchell's still really good, especially for a free card, man. But yeah, I mean, Antoine Jameson would probably be the card that I would try to get rid of. If you really want to keep Antoine Jameson, yeah, you know, I trust me, I am telling you to sell Anthony Davis. Like, it's definitely something that I would do, if not now, in the near future, because we're just going to get so many more agile big men that are just better versions of Anthony Davis. And although he's the only Anthony Davis right now, I highly doubt that really lasts. And he's still a good card. This is a card that I enjoyed a lot when I had him. But unless you're going for that Idols lock-in, I think it might be time to get rid of him before his price kind of tanks. He's also a card that you can hold on to for a while, because once that Idols lock-in comes out, they're probably going to put out some super packs to increase his value just a little bit. And with the way the Opal market is trending, it's just tough to say that he'll be going for 200K in a little while. So it might not be a terrible idea to get rid of him too. You can keep Antoine Jameson on the bench, maybe upgrade to like Bob Lanier, Draymond Green, or Moses Malone. Bob Lanier would require, and Moses Malone would require, some shooting badges, whereas Draymond would not, but they have size advantages, and they're overall better rebounders. Giannis is going for a pretty penny as well, but you do cite that you like Giannis a lot, so I understand that, so I wouldn't get rid of him, especially because you like him. But yeah, I mean, that's probably what I would do, realistically. If you want to go cheaper option over, yeah, I mean, Draymond's the best possible option that you could go for over Jameson. I mean, if you really wanted to go with a cheaper option, depending, like, you operate more of a rim running play style, so I don't know necessarily if someone like Vucevic or Cat really helps you out. Granted, those are really good cards. Like, as far as your guards go, you're fine. I don't think you need to upgrade off of Donovan Mitchell and Lonzo Ball at this point. I just think selling Ben Simmons and thinking about selling Anthony Davis in the near future and possibly grabbing someone like Draymond just to help you in the meantime would probably be all I could really say that would improve your team. It's just we're at a stage in the game right now where you don't want to dismantle your entire team because you're not going to get like a lot of value for these guys. And the budget options that we have out right now, I just don't think are really worth dismantling your team to go and get. If I'm being honest, like, I don't think that's the case. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's certain, like, upgrades that you could potentially make at this point, but, like, I don't think they were necessarily worth it in the grand scheme of things. Like, I don't. Like, yeah, grabbing someone like an Andre Karolinko may be an upgrade, but it's not worth almost 200K to go grab Andre Karolinko at this point. Like, yeah, Kareem's an upgrade, but he's not worth that price tag. Stuff like that. Yeah, I would just keep what you got going on right now. Maybe thinking about swapping out Jameson for Draymond if you need, like, someone to ball handle on the bench a little bit more. And if you really, really like Ben Simmons, totally fine to keep him. But if you're not really that in love with Ben Simmons and you're just keeping him because of size, and you're not going for, like, domination and doing single-player stuff, then I would just go and get rid of him now and come up on all that MT before his price goes down. We're going to get another Ben Simmons in the near future. Like, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. This is 2K's money season. Like, this is when they're going to start pumping out, like, the really, really big name fake cards, so that they can sell packs. Think about it. It's tax time. Like, this is when people have expendable income to spend on this game, and 2K is going to make sure that they spend that expendable income as much as humanly possible. All right, my man J Biz. What do we got here? We got Opal Magic. Okay, looks like you got a lot of shoes on players. That's a thing. Okay. You got Hoff clamps and Hoff rim protector on Magic. Okay. All right. Coming to play today. Okay. Lamar Odom. Okay, well, I can tell you right off the bat who I'm probably getting rid of. I like Lamar Odom, don't get me wrong, but there's just better options at this point. power forward. Oh, so you're running... Wow, okay, you're running a big boy lineup right now. Okay, you're running David Robinson at power forward with Kareem at center. Wow, okay. You have a better team than I do. Okay, see here, yeah, I knew there was a reason I picked your team, and I knew what it was. I just couldn't remember. It's the bench. Okay. Don Boucher. Ray Allen, who's totally fine. I'm not even going to change that. Ray Allen makes the most whites in this entire game. Sidney Wicks, who you do have badged up. Okay, good to know. Spencer Haywood. And McHale. You have McHale. Alright, so, right off the bat. You green the most with Ray Allen, plus he makes a lot of whites. That's automatically a guarantee to stay on the team at that point. You don't want to replace Kawhi. Cool. Lamar Odom is the one card that you really want to get rid of. Understandable. Okay, I understand that. You're big on mismatches, which... Yeah, I can see that. You have 300k MT. Look, if you don't want to break the bank on Lamar Odom, the problem here is going to be the fact that Lamar Odom is a mismatch player because of his size. And a lot of the guys that are available right now at the small forward position, at least that I can think of, that would really benefit your team, are not going to be mismatch players, if that makes sense, you know? Lamar Odom, he's special in that regard. Like, there's not a lot of mismatch guys available that would make sense for your team right now. Especially at the small forward position. Like, there's really not. Like, obviously Wiggins makes sense. Like, Wiggins would make a lot of sense for your team. I personally think he's a little bit better than Lamar Odom. Like, personally. We don't even have any Giannis's that... Oh, yeah, no. I think Giannis is center primary and then power forward, yeah. You have 300k. I don't even think you can afford Giannis anyway. Yeah, I would say Wiggins or Dominique would be the option. Wiggins, for sure. He brings the majority of what Dominique does for a fraction of the cost. Yeah, that's probably where I would go with that. I mean, grinding for Mel Daniels would be helpful, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, for what you like to do and exploit mismatches, I just don't think there's really any guys who really do that. At least at that tier. I mean, that's why you're running Sidney Wicks. That's why you're running Lamar Odom. So, I mean, in theory, yeah, you could go and get someone like a Wiggins, or you could go and get someone like... I don't even know who you would get at this point. Like, that would be able to exploit mismatches like you like and still be, like, not ridiculously expensive. Yeah, I mean, Wiggins would probably be the guy I would look at, mostly. It's one of the only upgrades for your team that I think won't kill it. I mean, yeah, I really don't. Like, I'm looking through, like, Pippen's good. I like Pippen a lot, but I know a lot of people don't like Pippen. Hito Turkoglu sucks. Well, I like Hito Turkoglu, but for majority of players, he's not good. Like, I green with him, I like him, but I know for a lot of people he sucks. He's a mismatch for sure, but at the same time, I don't know how much that really helps you either. So, look, I try to give a lot better tips than this for the most part, but like I said, we're at a stage when I don't think a lot of things... You can't do too much to make this team better. Like, Lamar Odom does help you with the mismatches, but there's just not that many big, small forwards that are good anymore at this point. Like, that I think are really an improvement over Lamar Odom. That's the key. I would hold on to Lamar Odom. If you want to give it a shot and run with Wiggins and see how you like him, maybe go pick Wiggins up. He's relatively... He's not cheap, but he's not crazy expensive for how good he is. It's like 40k, and he's, in my opinion, worth that price. Maybe try him out. If you don't like him, just send him back. Lose a few thousand MT on it. You can get him for like 37 on Xbox. It's not terrible. But he's not really too much of a mismatch. He's 6'8", so pretty decent wingspan. But maybe try him out, see how you feel about Andrew Wiggins, and then if you don't like him, just slot Lamar back in and hope for another small forward. I think we're going to get a lot more wings here in the near future. So part of this video was me wanting to tell people to not freak out about wings, because I think we're going to get a lot more wing players here in the near future. We got our big men in the radioactive pack. You know, we got a couple wings with T-Mac and Karolinko, but they're not like true wings. So yeah, I would say don't panic. Just, if you want to try to shake up the formula, try out Wiggins. Don't spend a bunch of MT or tokens or anything. If you really want to, maybe, I don't think even grinding for Brandon Roy doesn't really help you. Yeah, I would just stay with what you got for now. Maybe try out Wiggins. That's basically all I can say. Oh, yeah, I got so wrapped up in the wing thing that I forgot to tell you, like, definitely upgrade from Don Bousset. I like Don Bousset for sure. Like, I like him, but I could see how you may need to upgrade that situation and remedy that ASAP. And as far as, like, what would be the options to do so, I mean, Lonzo. You like mismatches, you probably like Lonzo Ball a lot. He mismatches, like, pretty decent amount of the time. I don't think Ben Simmons really helps your team out, so I wouldn't go that route with it. Yeah, I really don't think he helps. Pink Diamond Dwyane Wade's okay. He's not really a mismatch, but he's alright. He's not really that much better than Bousset, though. I don't even know if he is, realistically. He's got a better jump shot, that's about it. Yeah, I don't even think, like, Juan Carlos Navarro really helps too much. Yeah, I would just stick with what you got for now. I thought I had something there, but yeah, not really. There's really nothing to really go after. Juan Carlos Navarro is really good. I like him, but like I said, he's just not worth that price right now. Point guards are hard to come by right now as well, so it's kind of tough. I would just hold firm on your team. Sorry I couldn't give you too much more advice on that one. It's just, until we see what we're getting Friday, it's hard to really tell people to spend MT, you know? But yeah, Wiggins would be my only thing. Maybe try him out. All right, Keno Chill, number 21. Specifies. Lonzo Ball. Okay. Cool. Jack Marin. All right, if this was like a month ago, you would have the most god tier squad. Clyde. A lot of Clyde Drexler. I'm glad people grinded for him because he's really good. Kermit Washington again. Where are all of you people getting Kermit Washington? You have Julius. Oh, man. I literally haven't gotten this dude to show up yet. I just want him. Let's see. You're running Donovan Mitchell, Klay Thompson. Well, not that Klay. You're running Diamond Klay. That is an important distinction to make. Thaddeus Young. Respect. I respect this move. Antoine Jameson and... Oh, man. Come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely telling you to get rid of this dude ASAP. You're on current gen. You have 400k. You said VC, but I'm pretty sure you mean MT. If you have 400k VC, wait for Friday, open some packs, I guess. You rim run a lot. That's your main thing, is you rim run a lot. Okay, cool. Let's see. You're probably getting killed on the rebounding aspect every time you play the game, I have to assume, right? So you have 400k. I don't know what you have. I should start asking people how many tokens they have and like where they are in the token market. You green the most with Donovan and Young. Okay, so you like base 98. All right. Klay Thompson's a great 3-and-D option. I don't see any reason to get rid of him, but if you were really unsatisfied with Klay Thompson, I know. Say it with me at home, kids. Andrew Wiggins. I'm going to keep saying it. Andrew Wiggins is a great option. He is a little expensive, so maybe you want to keep Klay Thompson. I feel that. Thaddeus Young would be the guy I would probably replace, but honestly, Karl Malone needs to go for a variety of reasons. A, because it's Karl Malone. Look, you can do so much better for so much less. Karl Anthony Towns is like 15k, and he's like definitely a better center. And if you want more of like a post protector guy because you don't like, I don't know, if you don't ball handle with your center a lot, like him or Vucevic is a significant upgrade over Karl Malone, both defensively, offensively, and in the rebound department. Karl Malone's a little bit better of a ball handler, and if that's really what you're looking for, no, Draymond's too small. You could never run Draymond at center at this stage in the game. I'm sorry, you can't. It's not a thing. It's just not a thing. You know what? I would be happier if you ran Mark Eaton over Karl Malone, just because it's Karl Malone. I hate him. I mean, you could also go, if you didn't mind spending MT and wanted somebody who's a little more agile. Why did I just type in retro? You can grab Retro Giannis. He's still pretty usable. He doesn't shoot like very well at all, but you rim run for the most part anyway. And he'll still he'll go up and grab boards, like he will. Thaddeus Young, if you green a lot with him, he's not terrible, but for what Thaddeus Young will bring you, as far as like badge count and stats, you can just go grab Retro 1 Andre Karolinko, who's got better stats. You can find him like basically discarded for absolutely nothing at this stage. Ooh, look who's had a little price resurgence. Andre Karolinko. He's back up to like 15K. That's cool. But yeah, you can find versions of Andre Karolinko that are badged up, have unlimited contracts, unlimited shoes for right around 15-20K. And as good as Thaddeus Young is, that Andre Karolinko is still a better card. I'm not saying that that's a long-term move that you can do, but it's a short-term move that will benefit you, in my opinion. Obviously, grabbing Wiggins would be great, but if you green that much with that base 98, Andre Karolinko actually might be a better option for you. So, and at the center position, like Karl-Anthony Towns, Vucevic, this Giannis, who's still pretty expensive, so I don't really think it's like a great move. But Karl-Anthony Towns like 14K. Vucevic is like 20 or 30K. Like, and those guys are definitely better options than Karl Malone. That's what I would do, and then I'd wait for Friday's content drop if we got some wings, especially some like budget style wings. Definitely a good move. That's just me though. All right, next up, what do we got? We got my man Sobs, Don Ole. I'm getting really tired of seeing all of these TT reward players because like I literally can't get any of them. Kawhi. You have Kermit too. Okay, does everybody have Don Ole and Kermit besides me? I'm just kind of convinced at this point that that's the case. Spencer Haywood. Haywood's actually pretty good, by the way. I like him. I do have Spencer Haywood. So, you know, fret not. Hero Magic. Then you got Dissinger. No, see, you're not allowed to have Dissinger, Don Ole, and Kermit Washington. Like, it's not a thing, right? You have Jerry Sloan, too? I'm going to stop doing squad tips here pretty soon, because everybody seems to have, like, much better luck than me. And, like, why am I giving free tips? Just kidding. But why am I giving tips out, man? And Pau Gasol, which you called Pay Gasol, and I don't know if that's a joke or not, but either way, I enjoy it. So, all of them are badged out, and you do have Grinches on a lot of them. Okay? You run D'Antoni, you have 200K, you run a heavy ISO offense to avoid turnovers, but you're getting killed on the boards every game like 20-5. Okay? You green the most with Kawhi and Dissinger, so I handle the ball with them mostly. Robinson's shot is super inconsistent for me. Okay. Although his shot is inconsistent, he's still the best, one of the best centers in the game. And just for defensive purposes, I mean, you're getting killed on the boards, like you need Robinson in there. So right off the bat, Pau Gasol is actually surprisingly a pretty poor rebounder. Like, I don't know what it is because his stats and badges suggest that he's a good rebounder, but every time I use Pau Gasol, he just refuses to go rebound the ball. I don't know what it is. He like doesn't make whites, and he is just super lazy at going after the ball. I'm guessing he has a really low, I think he has a really low crash tendency, and I think that's what it is. Regardless how like tall he is, he just refuses to go actually do it. Now, Oakley's a really good free card. I will say that. But I could see he doesn't rebound the ball incredibly well either. He has the stats that support that he does, but he's just not very tall, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm not familiar with Oakley too much, so let me go check him out a little bit. I mean, he's 6'9", that's really not bad, but he's a smaller player build, which I think is kind of weird. That being said, he's a good card. 95 interior defender. Like, he can hold it down. He's got upper 90s rebounding. Good speed, good badges. Now, you're going to miss a kind of an annoying amount of jumpers with him because he's got really, really weird hot zones. So, but I don't think getting rid of him is a good idea. I think he's fine. Spencer Haywood's fine. I'm mad you have Jerry Sloan. I'll be honest. I'm a Bulls fan. I want Jerry Sloan like really bad, and I've played like 100 games and can't get this thing to open or get into the glitch market. So, you know, it's fun. But the issue is you're getting killed on the board, so I think removing Pau Gasol would probably be the best course of action. And if you have the tokens to do so, which you do have Oakley, so I'm thinking that you might, grabbing like a Bob Lanier or a Moses Malone would be a very good idea. These guys are a little bit smaller, but they're very, very good rebounders. So I think that has the potential to really put your team over the edge as far as rebounding. Now, the only issue is, well, like, Oakley's a good shooter. He's inconsistent, that is for sure, especially with his hot zones, but he has good shooting badges and a good shooting rating. 86 three-pointer, like, he can hold it down. Bob Lanier and Moses, to get them to be really, truly usable offensively, you are going to have to put some badges on it, which you obviously, from what I can tell, don't really have a problem doing. So I think those guys they might move the needle as far as rebounding. I mean, you're going to get out-rebounded for the most part because you're going to run into guys with, like, both D-Rob and Dirk at, like, center and power forward, and then you can, like, look on the bench and they have Giannis or something, and there's just nothing you can do at that point unless you want to shell out all the MT for Giannis, which I don't think you want to do. So I would batten down the hatch, like, hold down the fort a little bit. I started talking, like, bar rescue for a second. I need to chill. Number one, I would switch Jerry Sloan and Dissinger. Well, they're on the bench, so, like, the CPU probably does that for you. So that's something I would do. I don't know how I feel about Kermit Washington at small forward, but you do have him badged up. You have a really interesting starting lineup, like, historically speaking, you know? So I'm like looking at your team and I'm wondering how you're getting out rebounded so bad. Because, like, I see that, like, in the big man department, you do have a lack of height a little bit with, like, Haywood and Oakley being power forwards, and they are a little bit smaller. And D-Rob's not crazy big. I'm just confused, I guess. I think you're just getting, like, really poor algorithm, personally, because, like, in theory, you should be. Like, Pau Gasol makes sense. Like I said, he is not very good at rebounding the ball. I don't know what they did to him, but that is definitely a thing. But, like, it's just weird. Like, I'm super puzzled right now. Yeah, maybe look at getting Bob Lanier and Moses Malone in the mix from one of those guys. I think Bob Lanier is the better option just because he comes stacked with a little bit more of a badge count. He's more recent, so he's a little bit better. But I just like Moses Malone's jump shot a little bit more. I don't know if Bob Lanier's is going to be as good. I would think back to that pink diamond Bob Lanier if you had it and see how you feel. Let me see. Who's Bob Lanier's jump shot base? I forgot. Let me double check that. Let's see. He is running. Yeah, he's got 35 hops, 14 golds, and only an 80 shot three. Moses Malone is a better shooter. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's got set shot 9, which is like Pink Diamond Bob Lanier and Jacob Podol. Yikes. I would say if rebounds is your thing, if rebound and post play is your thing, I would probably go with Lanier. If you want a little bit more offense in the mix or a little bit better shooting, Moses Malone is probably the way to go. Badge counts aren't really crazy similar. They're both as fast as each other. They both handle the ball pretty well. Moses Malone got a big old vertical too at 97. Yeah, if rebounding's your issue, I'd go Moses Malone. I think it'll help your team a lot if you can get to that point. Other than that, I mean, Cat rebounds the ball okay. Better than Pau Gasol, so that's also an option. Like, Mark Eaton's a monster, and he rebounds the ball better than almost anyone in this game, but I think that hampers your offense so much that I don't think Mark Eaton is really going to be helpful. That being said, if you're doing offline challenges, like, I think Mark Eaton would be a good person to pick up, just because he's going to actually hold down the paint and grab a bunch of rebounds. But when you take this party online, you're going to want someone like Moses Malone or Bob Lanier in there, just because they're faster, they can shoot when you badge them up appropriately and stuff like that. So, hey, let me know in the comments down below if this helped. And let me know down below in the comments if any of these things helped. I feel like this week I just didn't have as many options just because we're fresh into the season. There's not a lot of cards out yet. So I did my best, though. That's all that counts, I suppose. So check out the description for all my stuff, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more content. I appreciate everyone who submits every week for this. Sometimes I take a week off or whatever. I try to let you guys know, but I will be streaming and stuff this weekend as well, and obviously I'll have a bunch more content tomorrow and Friday. So, as always, peace.